welcome to FPTV and welcome to FPTV New Releases. This time with our favourite multi-hyphenate, Eisner-winning former CIA officer, Mr. Tom King. How you doing, mate?
What a pleasure. Thank you for having me. It's such an honor. I'm sorry we're in plague times and I'm here and you're there, but at least we can see each other.
Me too, brother. But it's great for you to join us, and we're really excited about your new Rorschach series.
Me too.
We just can't wait. What can you tell us about it, mate?
Well, I can tell you it's the most frightening thing I've ever done. When it was first proposed to me, I said not only hell no, but fuck no, but never.
Yeah. Of course.
I was like, no, I just like, who wants to follow Watchmen? You know, who wants to, it feels like the best you could do is like be not even the monkeys to the Beatles, but like the Archies to the Beatles. Like, it's like, like, I don't, it seemed actually ridiculous. Yeah. So no, I didn't want to do this at all. Very reluctant for all the reasons. And then I saw the TV show and, which just won like every Emmy last night or 2 nights ago.
Which was a great piece of work. It's incredible.
It really was. It was eye-opening to me. I was like, oh, okay, you can, instead of being, instead of being the Beatles, you could be, instead of being the Archies, you could be like the Clash. You could be inspired by it and push in new directions rather than just do cover songs of it. So that was sort of the turning point. And the opportunity to work with Jorge, who I had worked with on Batman. He'd just done this annual for me where I realized like, holy, I had no idea you were a genius. It was like, I was like, I'm working with another good artist. And then he did this annual for me where we did 7 genres in 7 days. And I was like, oh, I have to, whatever he wants, I'll do. And so that was when I very, very reluctantly said, let's do this Rorschach thing and see if we can make it work.
Yeah, I mean, I take it like the rest of us. You're clearly a big Watchmen fan. So what ultimately when you'd agreed to sign on, I think it's an interesting way absolutely the right way to look at it. That it's a very rich universe that you can move around in. What was it? What spoke to you about Watchmen when you first read it?
I feel like I'm beyond a Watchmen fan because I mean, if you look at the stuff like Omega Man and Mr. Miracle, you can just see I've copied it in every possible way I could. So yeah, I mean, I read it when I was way too young. I'm sure I was 9 or 10 years old, picked it up at a bookstore because it was like the only comic book that was for sale at bookstores. So you could trick your mother into buying it for you. And it utterly blew my, I didn't even get all the structural stuff until later, like all the little, narrative tricks he was using with the puns and the stories within stories. I just read it just completely as a story about these heroes. And to me, it was utterly, as a kid who sort of was, emerged. I loved superheroes. I read all of them and they were my great fantasies, but I was living life was much harder than a superhero world. And so to me, it was almost like, holy shit, someone finally acknowledged that real life exists. I don't know how to say it, but it was like, aha, it was like finding out your parents are normal people. And that sort of epiphany of, holy shit, my dad's a human being, not a super. And that's sort of, it's wholly depressing on one hand, but it's also humanizing and makes you feel like you could also be a father one day. And it's also, on the other hand, incredibly fascinating. You're just like, is it? So it's like all three. That's what it felt like. It's like that moment where you realize there are secrets behind these people and the secrets are true. And that, I mean, that's the first revelation of it. And then, I just came back to it as a story for years and years and years. I don't think it was until college that I read some scholarly articles on it that I started to realize all the just techniques he was using and that he had founded. And then as a creator, you just start, scraping at that, being like, holy crap, oh, nobody's ever used that note before. How did he do this? How did he do that? And then, so it's been incredibly influential.
So, Tom, can you give us a flavor of what to expect from the series?
So all that said, I decided the first thing I had to do was throw out all those tricks. So it wasn't a cover song. Not no 9-panel grids, but limited 9-panel. Like I've done that. Like you've seen me do everything you can do with 9-panel grids. So limited 9-panel grids. I'm not doing the fun pun, you know, it's all full of puns where someone's like, you know, oh, you're a little man, and the next thing they show up, you know, whatever, a perfume is called Little Man or something. You know, it's like, so I threw all the puns away, all those like transitions. And to me, what Watchmen is it speaks of its time so well. It just speaks of that sort of mid '80s dirge, which now, oh God, looking back, would I embrace
what
the
you wouldn't give for it now?
Yeah, what I wouldn't give. Yeah. I was like, yeah, we were about to kill each other, but we were doing it in a competent manner, you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Not through idiocy,
Not through
planning.
Yeah, through planning.
Planning and focus. Yeah.
So I wanted to take that sort of language and talk about today, because I mean, Jeff's work with Doomsday Clock, that was 1994, if you actually look at the words of it. So nobody had done 2020 except the movie. And the movie is sort of focused on small, like an Oklahoma story. And so I was like, let's go to Los Angeles. So I was like, okay, well, let's watch Watchmen 2020, taking off, not the movie, the TV show. If the TV show is canon, if the original Watchmen is canon, what's the next step, sort of? And how do we talk about this political moment, which the TV show was very much about, obviously, sort of the impact of race in America. And now I wanted to talk about sort of the impact of paranoia in America and corruption in America and lies and stuff like that, which is just haunting my country and probably yours every once in a while.
And ours as well. Yeah, we have our own blonde megalomaniac, silver spoon jackass running the country as well.
They seem to be multiplying. So and it's, I mean, I've said this before, but I'd done sort of these books that were, Mr. Miracle was very much about sort of the beginning of the Trump era when he just felt trapped and how we could sort of survive it. But it was very comforting in the end. It's all about sort of being with your wife. Same with Heroes in Crisis. It's sort of, it's about having problems and finding, like, I want to do something, like, I don't feel comforted anymore. I feel angry. I feel paranoid. I feel crazy. And I was like, angry, paranoid, and crazy. Okay, that's Rorschach. So, so we sort of started with that. So, the actual plot of the series is there's a guy in a Rorschach mask tries to assassinate a presidential candidate, and the series is why that happens and who's the guy in the Rorschach mask, and that's fantastic. And that's what it's about.
All right, I really can't wait, and we do have a treat for our Forbidden Planet customers as well. We have got a phenomenal exclusive cover for the debut issue of Rorschach, for issue number 1, which you are going to be able to order from the links attached to this video. We're very proud to have it, and it's a very special Brian Bolland cover.
Crazy, insane.
Essentially recreating the spirit of his Killing Joke cover, but with Rorschach. You'll see it attached to this video, but it's an amazing piece of work.
It's mind blowing. When it came out, I was just saying offline, but Jorge. He very rarely immediately reached out to me, and he's like, holy shit, I can't believe, and I was like, So we were just fanboying out on a cover. We're like, who are we that we have a Brian Bolland? It was, I mean, Brian Bolland's one of the true masters of the art form. So, and it's a gorgeous cover beyond just being Bolland. It's stunning to look at. And I love it.
It's as you will all see right here, right now, it's a lovely piece of work. And check it out, Rorschach number 1. It's right here. It's a book that we're all really looking forward to. Thanks so much for sharing your time with us today, Tom. It's really great to see you, mate.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, and thanks to everyone out there for reading this book. I hope you enjoy it.
I'm sure that we will. You take care, brother. All the best.
You too, man.